Hi, we're at my brother's house, Joe Russo's house, here in Mountville, in Kettering, Ohio. We're here today. This is a little special surprise we have for you today. This isn't like any other, as you could tell by the noise in the background. We have my father and my mother here, Rosemary and Sam Russo. What we are going to do, are you ready? What we are going to do for you, we are going to show you how to make artichokes, otherwise known as gargochles. So, this is my father, Sam, and I'll call him Dad. Dad, what do you have in store for us tonight?
Well, we are going to prepare artichokes, filled artichokes. I'm going to cut them and go to some extent to get them ready. And your mother here, she's preparing the filling.
The filling?
Yes. And now, Rosemary, why don't you tell them how you prepare the filling?
First of all, good evening.
Don't be afraid. This is Mom's first time on television.
First of all,
And national television, anyway.
first of all, I want Pat and Debbie and Mary to learn how to prepare this because it is their favorite dish, our children's. You get breadcrumbs and you mix them in a bowl with the breadcrumbs.
Can we put that up for Mom? Maybe
Yes.
the people would like to see.
You mix.
Can you get a shot of that, Joe? Does he see
Four
it right?
artichokes, or let's say 6. That would be equivalent to each of the family. You mix about 3 cups of breadcrumbs and a cup of Romano cheese and about 1/4 of a cup of parsley, garlic salt or powder, whichever you have,
Now
salt and pepper.
Okay, now is it important on what kind of breadcrumbs or what kind of
No,
brand
just
name of
regular,
cheese?
no, Romano cheese, definitely.
It has to be Romano
right.
cheese, okay.
And now we are going, I have the breadcrumbs all mixed here. Now, when it is mixed here, as you could see in the dish, there's quite a bit here. I'm going to add here. Right now, they bought here in Dayton, it's already mixed. It's breadcrumbs and cheese.
We're back. We had a little bit of technical difficulty here, but we're back.
I have the breadcrumbs and the grated Romano cheese in this dish, 1/4 of a cup of parsley. And if you happen to have sweet basil, it wouldn't hurt to throw a couple of dashes of that in. Now, if you use garlic salt, then naturally you go less on the salt. If you use powder garlic, then you could use more salt and pepper according to your taste. But I always put less because then when the individual eat it, then they could put how much salt they wanted. Okay, daughter-in-law dears, are you ready? Now I'm putting the Romano cheese in. Now you see I'm going to do a lot because I am doing 8 artichokes. Okay, as you could see, there's about, I'd say 6 cups of breadcrumbs and cheese here. Now if you run out of this, then you just naturally add more.
More of the
ingredients. Now there's a little bit more garlic. This is very high in iron. Everybody should learn to eat this. No, artichokes are very, very high in iron. Now, I'm going to just stop here a minute and show you. Use Mazola oil or Winston oil.
Would olive oil be okay to use?
No, do not use pure olive oil.
And why is that?
Because it gives it a little bit too much of a strong taste.
I see. So you do recommend Mazola?
Yes. Now I'm going to measure it. I don't measure it, but I'm going to measure it for the girls here. To about, I'd say 6 cups of breadcrumbs and cheese, you add about a cup of oil. Now the reason you mix this oil with the breadcrumbs is that when you put it in the breadcrumbs, it will stick better. It will adhere to your artichokes. Now you see I filled a cup, but I didn't quite use a cup, which is fine. It's very moist to your touch.
So you wanted about this texture. Joe,
Right.
can we
Now
zoom in
I'm
on here and show the people exactly what kind of a texture we have?
I used almost, I got a little less than a 1/4 of a cup of oil left out of a cup.
Okay, see how fluffy that is.
Now see how that is? All right.
Okay.
Now let me rinse my hands, and in the meantime, my husband, Sam, will show you how we clean the artichoke.
Okay, how
Okay.
we cut? Okay.
Okay, Dad, take it away. This is
what
the
we
cutting
do
of the
now
artichoke.
is get the artichokes, get the bottom, that are loose, away from, sort of.
Well, the smaller leaves.
Yeah, the small leaves, the
I will
bottom.
help to speed this procedure up. We don't want to keep you here all night. We want to drink and party.
All right.
All right, drink and party. Mom and Dad want to drink and party.
Okay. Now, after
And
you've
you see
cleaned
how
that out,
far- Do you see how far now, girls, I'm doing
Yes,
this?
we see.
After you
And
clean
you
those
see when you
One at a
break it-
time, please.
Yeah.
You break it off like this. Don't break this part. That's the good part, okay? Now, see, here's another little one you could take off. Okay, now, proceed and tell them you cut the stem off.
I use this
All right,
knife.
and this will make
I
it
think
better.
Dad could probably handle
All right,
this,
go
Mom.
ahead, Dad.
Okay. After you've taken those loose leaves out from the bottom, you take a knife and cut the stem out. Cut it as straight as possible. That's a reason. There's a reason for that.
Because it'll sit
See
in
what
the
I did
can.
here? That's wrong because it won't stay straight. This happened to be. Okay. Make it. There now. Because you're going to put it in the pan and you want it to stand straight. You don't want it to stand crooked because it'll run out.
Oh, okay.
Then you get the artichoke and cut the tip off.
About how much are you cutting now?
Oh, it all depends on the size
Of
of
the
the artichoke. I'd say about an inch, inch and a quarter to an inch and a half.
What-
About inch and a half.
Okay.
And you cut it right off, which is sort of hard. Now, after you cut this, talking about cleaning the artichoke, you go to the faucet
Well,
here,
before, all right, he'll show you. Let him show you.
turn on the water. Let the water run inside there and open them. That gives you the advantage of putting the breadcrumbs in the artichoke. At the same time, you are cleaning the artichoke. Now you see how this is opening up, because this has to be filled with your filling, with your crumb filling. Okay? So after you've done that, turn it upside down and let the water run out. And place it wherever.
Okay, now
And
I
you
just-
do all of them that way, or how many ever you got.
Okay. Now, who's over here where Mom is, and we'll see how she's doing.
Yeah, we're going to let him cut it. And to speed things, I will go wash him as he cuts them. And then we'll show you how to stuff them.
Okay, so
Now,
you're,
after we
Okay, now-
wash them, though, I will, let's exchange spots here, Sam. Now, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do
good
here.
idea. Okay, yeah, Dad'll just so Dad's going to continue.
Yeah.
You hit the artichoke because you're
Oh, this is
making it more
interesting.
manageable.
Oh,
see?
Jesus, God, this is interesting. What are you
See,
doing to the part?
I'm sort of making it so it's more pliable so that when we open it and stuff it with our stuffing, it'll be easy to do. Now, you see how that artichoke is?
What about this stuff here in the middle? That's,
Well, you do not eat that, but we leave it there. You always eat your artichoke like this. You break it off and you put it in your mouth and scrape your teeth on the very edge of the artichoke. You don't dip it in mayonnaise or oil or anything.
Well, some people do.
And you go like that, and this is very good. Now, you see how that artichoke is? Now, that's ready to be stuffed.
okay, now
All
the
right,
stuffing.
now I will wash them as Dad cleans.
Well, we've already seen the washing and we've already seen the cutting. Maybe we ought to.
She shut, yeah,
Why don't we come back? We'll take a station break here, and we'll be back with you in a minute. Okay?
right.
Okay, we're back. We're going to go through with the whole procedure of the artichoke scene here. Mom, Russo here is going to go on with the stuffing. Take it away, Mom.
Now, you see I have the artichoke in my hand.
Let me step over here.
And now what I'm doing is I'm
me go
going
underneath
to
you, Dad.
start stuffing the
underneath you.
leaves. Now, this isn't hard to make. It just consumes time. And you notice I hold it over the dish so you don't make a big mess and make your kitchen a big mess. You don't want that. Now, you see how I'm opening the leaves here? I'm spreading them apart. And I'm just, that's very important because you don't want to eat an artichoke without the delicious filling. But you see how that is now? It's all being filled one by one.
This is quite interesting. Mom, can I ask you a question?
Yes, you
Where
may.
did you learn how to?
You know, I'm glad you asked. When I was growing up, I never cooked. And I didn't know how to boil water when I got married 40 years ago.
I had
But
to teach
evidently, I must have watched my mother do all this stuff, and it must have stayed in my mind. Because here I am. And I am considered one of the gourmet cooks in Coldwater. Now you see here how I'm doing this and how it's all getting filled. And I must admit, I showed my husband Sam only once. And now I work, and when I come home, he has the artichokes all cooked and ready to eat for me.
Dad, you're amazing.
He does. He really does. We had 2 the other night, and it is. He does a lot for me. He's a wonderful man. And I wouldn't be married to him 40 years if he wasn't. Okay, now you see there's the artichoke, and it's pretty filled. Now, what we're going to do, Sam, if you reach over there and get me a pan, please.
I'll get it.
All right.
Where's
Now there's the artichokes. Now, naturally, they do sell artichoke pans, by the way. They do.
Oh, come on.
They really do, and they even sell artichoke dishes. But we don't leave the big stem like they do in California. All right, now see, there's the product.
Is the stem? It seems like the stem would be tasty.
It is, but it's very bitter. When I was a little girl growing up, we used to eat the stem. Now there's your artichoke.
That's
Okay. Now I'm going to set it in here. Okay. Now I'm not going to take your time and show you all the artichokes. I'm going to show you now what I'm going to do.
Well, I got an idea. I've got an idea here, folks. Why don't we take a station break? By the time we come back, we'll have all these artichokes done, stuffed in the pan, and we'll go from there, okay?
Very well.
See you in a minute.
Bye.
Hi, we're back. While we were gone, we've had several questions from the audience asking certain questions. One of them, which was quite interesting, I thought, was what kind of wine to serve with something like this? A red wine, a white wine? And we thought we'd ask Mr. and Mrs. Russo here exactly what they feel about this.
Well, that's a vegetable, so I think red wine probably would be appropriate for this kind of food.
Do you have any preference on what kind of red wine?
What kind of wine did we get that? Barosco?
No,
What is it?
Salvabola.
One of my favorites.
Oh, is it?
Right.
Well, we love that kind of
But now
wine, too.
you
You pick your own favorite red wine.
Now you can't
burgundy?
A light burgundy. Now you can't serve these artichokes on a platter to your guest as an appetizer, but be sure to serve also a fingertip bowl with a little lemon in it and a wet little towel, because these are quite messy. And when you serve them on a platter, you serve them on a salad platter where where your guest can eat the artichoke and then dispose of the leaf around her dish.
I see.
And this is a
Okay,
very
this is-
good appetizer.
Excuse me, are you from the audience, or what are you here what are you doing here?
I'm watching.
Ah.
Because she loves those artichokes.
Because I
too.
love gargochles and I
There you
want to
go.
learn how to make them.
Okay, so let me get over here. There we go. Could you show the people in the camera here, can we zoom in on this, Joe?
This is the finished product. Now here is the finished product. Now you see in this type of pan, which is a large pan, I could fit 4 artichokes in here. Now
I
let's
noticed
say,
they're fairly tight.
right, you have to really force them in. Now let's say there was only 3 artichokes in here, and it's just for the husband and wife. If you only have this size pan, you could put a potato in there so that the artichokes
interesting.
are very compact. You don't eat the potato; it wouldn't taste very
Won't
good.
that make a funny taste to the
No,
artichoke?
none.
I
Now
see.
here I have a little oil, and I am going to pour the oil on top of the artichoke.
This
Now,
is just strictly oil here.
this is Mazola oil or Winston. Now, you might say, oh, that's going to be greasy, yucky.
Yeah,
It
yucky, that's what I'd
isn't.
say.
It isn't. You don't taste the oil in this at all. Now, you see how I'm getting the top all moistened with the oil. Now, this is ready to be cooked, and I will simmer it on a low flame for about an hour. Now, I'm going to fill this pan with water. Now, this size pan, I would say to fill the water about here. I'd say about maybe 3/4, a little over a half
Well,
of water.
Would it be safe to say just to fill the pan even with the top of the artichoke?
No, less than that.
It'll be a little
Right.
less than...
You don't want the water
Be
to
boiling.
get in on your stuffing.
I see.
Now I'm going
okay.
to go to the sink here,
Okay.
and we're going to put some water right in here. Now I'm putting the water in. Hot or cold, it doesn't matter. All right. Now you see, it's almost to the top, okay?
about halfway.
But it is not touching the breadcrumbs. Now I'm going to go over here, and we're going to put it on a very low flame, okay? I'd say low. Do not simmer it. This is the wrong one. I'm not used to electric here. Is this the one? I believe this is the one. All right.
Yeah, that's the one.
There I go. Now, I'm going to let it heat up. And after it heats up, I'll put a lid halfway on the pan. Do not cover the whole pan with the lid. Leave it halfway. If Mrs.
When are you putting the lid on the top of the pan now?
As soon as it warms up a little bit, give it time. This is electric, and you're going to have to give it a little time to warm up.
I see.
And then I will show you how far I'll put the lid. Now you could go back and see Mr. Russo, how he is putting this and how he's going to put it in the pan. There's another pan.
Okay, we're back here to Mr. Russo. He's still with the finishing up here on the last couple of artichokes here.
Trying to get all the leaves so they'll have crumbs in it. You know, it's important. Probably you can't get it all, but we'll try.
Yes, I know when I'm eating these, Dad, I certainly like to get one with a lot of breadcrumbs. I mean, that really excites me.
Because I think that's one of the best tastes of the artichoke. I'm
Oh,
going to put
yeah.
this right here because we haven't got the other pan in. We've got to squeeze the other one here.
Okay.
And this is our last artichoke. I think we just barely going to have enough, maybe. We hope. And it's the same procedure with all of them. Oops,
Whoa,
I'm
hey,
sorry, I'm
hey,
sorry.
a little bit of fun here, okay,
Yeah.
no problem.
That's
I
part
think
of the game, I
cameraman
guess.
just had one go in his eye there.
I'm
Okay, it's
filling
basically
them
all
up.
the same,
Basically all the same from here on. Then the thing is to know when they're cooked, which it takes, what is it, Rosemary? Usually about an hour and a half,
About an hour and a half.
2 hours maybe. And then they'll be cooked because they are sort of thick and it takes quite a
Okay.
bit to...
When about an hour and a half goes by, break a stem off a leaf and taste it. If it is tender, your artichokes are cooked. It could take maybe 2 hours. It'll make them more tender. It won't hurt it. But you must remember, the art of cooking artichokes is cooking them slow and never run out of water because it'll burn. So don't go watch TV or play bridge or do anything. Keep your mind on the artichokes, okay? Now,
So
let's
let's take a look at this artichoke here again.
It's very messy.
Oh, they look awful tasty.
But they'll be worth it, believe me.
Very messy, but very tasty.
I don't know, Joe, do you think we could come over here and Mama Russo could show us a little bit of
Now we're
on
going
how to
to
put the lid
say-
on the pan?
This is completely warmed up. All right, now I'm going to put this lid halfway like that, just halfway. There you are. That's all there is to it.
The
Now,
lid stays like this
just
throughout
like
the cook.
that. But I'd say about every 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, check on this and make sure you have enough water. This is very important. Never run out of water. Never. That's why I say it takes a big time. It takes a lot of time filling them, but it also takes a time of watching it. This is the type of cooking that you do not leave on the stove and walk away. You've got to remember you have artichokes cooking. When you learn this, you'll be one of the connoisseurs because not many people know how to cook stuffed artichokes.
Okay, we thank you for
And
this.
thank you very much, and enjoy it in good health. And always remember, Mom and Daddy taught you how to do
Okay,
this.
thanks. That's from Mama Russo. Thanks, Dad. Appreciate it. Thanks. I'd shake your hand, but hey, it looks like they're a little bit.
We can do that later.
Okay, thanks for coming here and showing us this.
Well,
we're gonna appreciate
it was
this.
our pleasure.
We're gonna appreciate this through all our lives.
To do this, we finally did it.
Okay, and listen, we have a treat for you. I think we got a little bit of a little bit of tape here. We're gonna show you on how to eat the artichoke. I think I'm in that tape. I think Joe has it hidden away someplace. He could bring it up for you and maybe show you exactly how to eat this artichoke. I think you'll find it really interesting. See you later.
That's good. I'm glad that you had that. I had to skim it.
Where's the wine, huh?
Yeah.
We should have wine while we're
drinking while we're doing this.
While we're doing this.
That's my mind here. We're making.
Hi, we're back. It's been about 2 hours now, 2.5 hours. We're checking the gargochles now. We're going to talk to Mr. Russo here, Dad, and he's going to let us know a little bit about how it's going. Dad, can you cue us in?
Yes, it's going pretty good. I think they're about done.
Great. They look real good.
They're looking good.
Uh-huh.
And of course, what we did is we'll tell you, after you get done and they're starting to boil.
Yep.
And how long, of course, like you mentioned, 2.5 hours,
Right.
whatever. But you have to check the water so it won't go
Periodically
dry.
check the water.
Yes, about 20 minutes, every 20 minutes, you check them out. And if water's getting low, you add a little bit more water.
I see. Uh-huh.
And that's the way it goes.
Why do
until-
these look a little different than these? I mean, is this just because of
it
the
seems-
amount of...
yeah, we put a little more
Okay.
breadcrumbs in here.
Mm-hmm.
We were kind of shy away from this because we were going to run out. But these, the way it should really look, that's the way I like them because
Right,
you've
lots
got
of
plenty of
breadcrumbs.
breadcrumbs and they're tasty. And so after about 2.5 hours, you turn off the flame.
2.5
About
hours.
2.5 hours, give or take. You can
Yeah.
check it out. And then what you do is get them out of the pan. You put them on the dish.
And that's what we're going to do here right
And
away.
that's what we're going to do it and
All right.
enjoy them.
Great. Well, you heard it right here, folks. We'll take another station break. We'll come back and we'll see this delicious delicacy being eaten. Thank you. Well, here we are. We're munching on the old artichokes. They're great. Peeling them off one by one, like so. Some of the best food you've ever had. We're all just enjoying now. Mmm.
Delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, we forgot to mention, when you do put the artichoke on the stove, start your flame low. Don't put your flame high.
You keep the flame low?
Yeah, keep it low until they're cooked. Very good. I wish you were here to enjoy it. What do you say after we get done with this? We'll have a glass of wine.
Oh my God.
Don't that sound
I'll
good?
tell you what, even Minigani's like this
I'm
though.
not sure. It's really different.
Johnny's like this stuff himself. They don't know which end to
You didn't demonstrate how to eat these though, Dad.
Just put them in your mouth.
No, you
Oh, I
didn't.
see what you mean. Okay, when you eat these, you pick them off the top and put the lower part in your mouth, like so. And you scrape them off, like the top of this, which is soft. This is the harder part, this is the softer part. And as you go, like this, you clean it out and dispose of this. And so forth and so on until the artichoke is done. And when we get done with this, we'll show you how to eat the hearts, we call hearts, and that's the middle of the artichoke, which is the most delicious part of the artichoke. We'll show you that later, okay? We'll see you later.
Okay. I've just demolished my gargochule, and I'm down to the last part. See, there's hardly any more. Maybe a couple little things like this, but they're not really worth taking off and eating. So, you scrape off this part because see, there's like hair underneath. You see that little fuzzy stuff there? That gets scraped off. Haven't I done this once before on camera? See how I'm just scraping this stuff off?
Open this up.
You don't want to, you want to take off as little as possible because you want to
That's the
save the, and this is called the heart.
Done a good job.
I'm an expert at this. I love my hearts. And there you have it. This is the delicacy of the artichoke. You take and put a little salt on it if you like salt. It's about the only way to eat this thing though. And you eat it. I kill people for this. I do.
Yeah, I believe it.
I kill for this.
Delicious, huh? I enjoy it. I wouldn't believe a cactus so sweet. So good eating. You're enjoying yours, Debbie?
Very much.
You're going down to the where it's really tasty.
Whose is this one?
It's yours. Go for that one. That's what I ain't got no spoon, so. We'll see you
Bye, Joe.
next party.
Goodbye from Rosemary's Kitchen.